Alright, so first, show you a little map clear. Primarily what the build was made to do. I made it to clear maps, but it can also do bosses, although some of them are pretty scary and it's not the greatest bosser, but yeah, so I'm hacking. That's what that is right there. Alright, so yep, smooth map clear. That's what the build excels at. Alright, so I'll go over the core functions of the build and or like what was the word called? Mechanics? I don't know. It's a word people usually use. I'm blanking on it right now. Anyways, so the build is an int stacker. As you can see, I have lots of intelligence, and you can get even higher than this. My gear's really pretty tame for an int stacker. Like, note, this is not a budget build. If you want to do a budget version of this, it's not going to be good. The build only started really feeling smooth once I got around 1400 intelligence, and then it really ramped up to what I am right now, and the single target still isn't insane. If you want to get really good damage on this build, it's quite difficult to get there. The benefit is your damage also scales how tanky you are. As you can see, I have a ton of energy shield. I could get a couple more thousand too. So yeah, it gets pretty thick. It's not as tanky as you'd expect because due to it being an instacker, I don't have any suppression, which is kind of an issue. Res is kind of hard to get. I'm almost capped on fire, but so this build, I've been using the trader, which makes it so basically my flasks are always up. Now note, they're not always up while bossing. It's when mapping, it's guaranteed. There is no way my flask would never be up with this one mapping. To get it 100% uptime for bossing, you'd have to invest a little bit more. Which I didn't really care to do, but you'd have to like get increased flask charges on your belt, which is doable, but a little more expensive. So honestly, I mean, this is optional. I wouldn't even necessarily recommend using this, but yeah. So that's that. The build leeches a ton of energy shield. I think I have, if I'm constantly attacking, I think I have something like 9,000 energy shield leech per second because of this 10% of leech is instant. Adds a huge buff. Without that, without assuming I'm constantly attacking, it's about 3,000. Yeah. So you can like stand in shaper beam and stuff. Dots are no problem. There's a lot of leeway there for just standing in the middle of things. And that being said, getting hit by things does hurt. I'll link, or not link, but at the end of the video I'll have a Uber kill that you can see. I'll probably do Uber Elder, show you case that one. Alright, so the gear. Here's the wand. After I show the gear, I'll show how I crafted the important pieces. Some of them are pretty simple, so. The wand, I will definitely go over. So what you're looking for on the wand, mainly, is the 1.5 lightning damage to attacks per tenant, and 1% increased spell damage. And you might be saying, why spell damage? This is an attack build. Well, using Crown of Eyes here, which makes spell damage also apply to attacks at 150%. So you get a bunch of spell damage, you get a bunch of lightning damage from this weapon. And then I just multi-modded it for some stats and crit and attack speed. Crucible Tree. I have spell damage, increased attack speed, less global damage, and increased intelligence. Ideally, you'd want to get 2 of these increased intelligence nodes, which is possible. But something like that works. And then, Crown of Eyes. I have Corrupted with a +1 max power charges. You want to enchant it with like Power Siphon, shoots 2 additional projectiles. My shield's just energy shield and intelligence, and the tree has a bunch of intelligence. It has 11% increased. Then it also gives it some more energy shield on it. Another alternative to this is using Adziri's Reflection. That'd be a really good shield because it gives you some well-needed res on this build. However, the issue with that would be getting a good Crucible Tree. Might be a little bit expensive. Amulet, I have a synthesized one for % increased intelligence with some stats, some lightning damage to attacks, some energy shield, some res, and Anointed with Vengeance Cascade. That's very important. So your projectiles return to you like this. Alright, if you want to go for an amulet that is more damage than this, all you need to do is get a Awakener Orb. I believe it is Shaper and Crusader, and you get % increased damage per 15 int from Shaper, I think it's Shaper. And then on Crusader, you get % increased intelligence. And then you awaken or slam them together and you hope it's good. And then you repeat that till you get good stats. It can be kind of expensive. And it'll be much harder to craft than a increased intelligence synthesized implicit, but that option is there if you want to do it. If you're going to do something that expensive, you can probably figure out how to craft it. I don't know the optimal way. It's hard because one of the mods is a suffix and one is a prefix, so it's kind of hard to deterministically craft that anyway. So yeah, you probably just like Ashling, slam it, hope it doesn't hit one of the 2 mods, then craft another mod. That's probably the easiest way to get something without it being crazily expensive, but it will definitely give you more damage. Just those 2 mods on an amulet gives you more damage than something like this. However, you'll likely lose some tankiness if you don't hit the high energy shield thing, but you can afford to lose some energy shield. So another ring, very important. Chevron's Revelation gives you a ton of int, gives you some energy shield. Ideally, you would have this corrupted and give it a % intelligence implicit. I was not able to get one. I bricked like 10. This character was cursed. This character was super unlucky for me. Most unlucky character I ever had. Like, this chess piece took 4,000 fusings. Corrupted like 10 of these. They all bricked. Yeah, very, very unlucky character for me. So, talking about this ring a little bit. Having the left ring slot, which says, cannot recharge or regenerate energy shield. And this is fine, because all of our regen is from Leech. So, let me pull up POB here. So I can just show you the Leech number real quick. Import the character, so you can see it's not even any POB trickery. What's the character called? There it is. There we go. Boop, boop. 9,960 ES Leech on hit rate. But it is a little bit of a bait, because like I said earlier, it is dependent on you attacking constantly because of this 10% of instant leech. See if I take it off, then it goes to 3,700. That is your real leech rate, as in the one that'll be constantly going and doesn't require you to keep attacking. And since we're Trickster, it's like Slayer, so it'll keep refilling your energy shield even if it fills up. The effect is not removed when energy shield is filled. So yep. The ring also gives you a ton of mana regen, which is actually really good. Like, it really helps you with sustain. Now you do leech some anyways, so yeah. But very nice. And gives you a huge chunk of energy shield. It's giving me a little over 2,000. So the chest piece, you're just gonna go for as high of evasion and energy shield rating roll you can get. An easy way to do this is with a fractured thing. I couldn't get a great fractured piece, but it's good enough. And then you're going to want to get a high int roll. My int roll is not very good. And then you just want to make sure it has an open suffix so you can craft that 6% increased attributes. Probably craft this with like dense and fundamental fossils. The other ring, you're just going to want to get a synthesized one with % increased intelligence, and then roll it with spite essences to get flat intelligence and some res. You've really squeezed for res on this build, so you really want some good rolls here. You can also try and get it with elemental damage to attacks on the prefix. Kind of difficult though. Might take you a little bit. Probably not that hard, but yeah. Boots, just int, some res, and as much energy shield you can get. Belt, % increased synthesized intelligence belt. Get some flat int using spite essences. Then the res where you need it. You can also go for the flask gain charge or increased flask recovery thing on it if you're going the trader. And then, yep, you could ash, once you get your suffixes, you would have an open prefix and you craft suffixes cannot be changed, and you could ash sling it, trying to get like % increased damage. I got evasion and energy shield for mine. And then you can slam the rest with exalts and hope you get something good. The mitts, I'd say go for, well, you got a few options here for gloves. So if you're gonna like really do juice maps, you probably want to get gloves that are like Shaper or Elder, and then get the additional links like socketed attacks have 40% more damage or whatever it is, 70% increase critical multiplier. Personally, I didn't have a need to do it. As you can see, I just cleared just fine. I've been clearing maps fine. I'm not super juicing them though. And yeah, so I just went for an attack speed fracture. Got 46 intelligence, could be higher. Some res, and then I have +1 socketed projectile gems, and it gives me an additional pierce on the KB. So Eldritch Implicits. I'm using Inflict Lightning Exposure on hit. You can also get this on your Crucible tree. And then shocks you inflict spread to other enemies within a radius of 12. Just it'll make clearing a little bit nicer. So the exposure is important. You do want exposure somewhere, whether easiest place to get it will be on these on your gloves. Harder place to get it would be on your Crucible tree. And the reason we want that is, while 1, exposure is good. 2, here we have 60% increased critical strike chance against enemies with lightning exposure. Eldritch Implicits, right? You're going to want to get the less damage taken per blah 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 int. 230 is the lowest one. You can get it higher than that. And then the other one, you could get like non-aura or aura effect increase, whatever that one is. I just settled with critical strike multiplier for attack damage, get some damage. Why not? On boots, I went for Scorched Ground and cooldown recovery rate of travel skills, just because I really like the cooldown rate of travel skills. It makes it feel way nicer. Makes it feel like you pretty much always have a movement skill ready to go. And yeah. So that is the gear. Guess there's jewels too. I went over this a little bit already. Cluster jewel. You're looking for a large cluster jewel with veteran defender and whatever else you can get on it. That's good. Whatever gives you damage. You just want them to be the first two. This one's good. It's got mana leech, got attack speed, damage while leeching, and we're always leeching, so this is a good one. And then I'm using a small or a medium cluster with increased critical strike chance. The important one here is pressure points, which gives you 5% chance to deal double damage, 30% crit strike, and then I also have quick getaway, which gives you movement speed, some attack speed, and some crit chance. You can also use something like basics of pain. Really, anything that'll give you damage is good. Then I have a split personality here. I don't think you actually want to use this. It's kind of a bait. It's not terrible, but it's probably more expensive than just getting a 4-socketed jewel or a 4-stat jewel such as this, which actually I think would be better. I'm pretty sure this gives more damage than split personality. I tested it in POB, so I'd say look for a jewel like this over split personality. If this is cheap in softcore, then this is a good alternative. If you don't want to get a 4 passive jewel, if that's more expensive. I don't know softcore prices, but this was like 4 divines in hardcore, which is more expensive than crafting something like this. So then Emperor's Wit is good, not necessary. It's pretty similar to a jewel like this. So whichever would be cheaper to do. Especially if your Emperor's Wit is not max rolled. If it's not max rolled, I wouldn't use it. Something like this would be better. Yeah. Okay, that's all the jewels, right? Okay, well, that's the gear. Alright, here I'll show you how to craft the wand. So, wand. You definitely want it to be an imbued wand base. And then Hunter and Shaper. So, Craft of Exile is a little weird with its Awakener Orb function, so I'm not going to actually do it, but I will show you essentially what you do. I'll just explain it. So first, you would, the best way to get the mods are just alt spamming them. It's pretty quick. I did it pretty quickly. I think they're within like 100 alts to hit this. If you don't want to use alts, you can actually just chaos spam it. Really what you're just looking for is on each wand. You're looking for this. So you get a Shaper wand with this mod, and then you get also a, what's it called? Get a Hunter wand with this mod, and then once you have 2 wands, one with that mod, one with the other Shaper mod, you just Awakener Orb them together, and then it'll give you other random mods, and I will just fill it up with random stuff just to simulate that. Say you hit 6 all. You hit 6 mods here. Alright. What you're going to look to do is right now, if you want to keep it as budget as possible, you're going to want to hope you want a null and hope you had a suffix. All right, bricked. Well, start again. And if you brick it, you need to get 2 wands again, one with 100 wounds and one with Shaper, and you Woken or orb them together. It's definitely not worth trying to re-roll it on this particular wand. So there we go. Hit a suffix if you want to keep it super budget. That's what I do. You have an open suffix now. You go to your crafting bench and you do where is it? Prefixes cannot be changed. Then you scour it. Then you multi-mod it with attack speed and where is it? And this one, strength and intelligence. Oh, I didn't put multi-mod, but here. Attack speed and oh, the phlegm is returning. Hold on. All right. Oh, this drink is not good for phlegm. I need some water. Anyways, there you go. Wand is done. Now, if you want to make it a little bit better, still probably won't be super expensive. What you're going to want to do is you're going to null it if it's full. Ideally, hopefully, you just have an open prefix, but say it a suffix there. What you can do now is if you want to make it a well, here cannot roll attack modifiers, so you could also do cast there. What this does is it actually works on a nulls. I'm actually not sure if this would be better to wipe the suffixes or not. But you could roll this and you can null, and then, well, I guess, okay, so doing it this way, with having suffixes still on and crafting this, it's the gambly way, because you can annul this right here, then you have to craft it again. But this is only one divine. If you craft prefixes cannot be changed in scour, that is 2 divines, but it increases your chance. So I'm gonna say people usually like the non-gambly way. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna scour the suffixes, and then there we go. And now Beingcraft cannot roll attack modifiers. You can also do caster, doesn't matter. Actually, it does kind of matter depending on what this roll is. If this roll would be, let's see, let me add something here. Let's say it was this, say it was that. So it has the attack modifier. So you would want to roll, cannot roll. I guess it, wait. Yeah, okay. So say it has the attack modifier. You want to roll, cannot roll caster modifiers. Because if you did the cannot roll attack modifiers, then it would be 100% chance to hit this one with the null. So, boom. Well, hit that. So you do it again. Cannot roll caster. And then, well, hit the wrong one. It bricked. You'd have to start over. But ideally, oh, this isn't going good. Well, you can see how this can be. Why it's not the budget version. There you go. Finally hit it. Now what you do would be prefixes cannot be changed. You would now Ashling Veil. Boom. You'd unveil this. You take this one. Take any of the good ones you get, really. That one's good. That's good. So it seems pretty likely to get a good one. Are you guaranteed a good one? No. You can get something bad. Then you have to start over. but seems pretty likely. So, yeah. And then you would multi-mod the suffixes as shown earlier. Alright, so leveling the build and other miscellaneous things I'll just go over here. You can level this build as a wander. It works fine. I did it. You want to use like 2 Tesalios, sign rings. That should carry you through the end of the campaign pretty easily. Using like a crew reward anointed with Vengeance Cascade is also very, very good. So yeah. Go over ascendancy order. I went polymath first, and then you can go 1 step ahead, so you never get like frozen or chilled. It's very nice. Then escape artist, then soul drinker. Leveling. So the tree is energy shield, but you essentially just follow this tree. And then you just click the life nodes along the way as well. Instead of going up here, you'd go through here for the damage. Click the life nodes. Don't click the crit nodes too early, like these. You'd swap those to those. Going up here, you'd click these nodes. Coming up here, you come down here, click those nodes. These. Take some lightning damage. You can come down here, click these life nodes too. So basically, just make sure you're picking up life nodes as you level. Life nodes here, come over here, blah, 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 blah. Life nodes here, life nodes there. Yeah, you get the point, because you're not going to level his energy shield. That would not be good. Since the nature of this build is rather expensive, I'm not going to include a leveling guide, because if you can afford to do this build, you can probably afford to figure out how to level it. If you can't, build's probably out of your budget. Another thing that you might want to look for, I was trying to look for it. I was going to buy it, but I can't. Because I'm in hardcore, just doesn't exist on the trade site, or just doesn't exist. Nobody's selling it. You look for a Forbidden Flesh and Flame combo for one of the assassin nodes. Ideally, you get Mistwalker. It gives you crit immune and it gives you elusive. Elusive would be really good, especially for mapping. But really, any of them are good. This one, it's good. +1 max power charge. It's good. Deadly Infusion. It's more crit multi. Look, that's good. It's huge damage. Opportunistic, well, 25% more damage. It's good. Ambush and Assassinate. It's not useless, but it's less good. And these two are useless. So, yeah. Also, note your damage is actually double what's shown here because of Vengeance Cascade, since it will go and hit him twice. Actually, I think it might be a little bit more than double with Sniper's Mark, but since it makes more projectiles come out. Yeah, so that's about everything. I guess I'll go over these parts, and people always ask. Bandits kill all. Major God Lunaris, Minor God Relikash. For bossing, maybe do Solaris instead. It's pretty hard. Ouch. Oh yeah, this isn't good. That was bad timing. Oh shit. I can tank one of those? That's crazy. I can. I always overestimate them. That is right. You can tank those. That's my biggest fuck up with this fight every time I do it. I always overestimate those and I respect them too much. Can that squid die? Once you realize you can tank those, the fight gets way easier. I always think they're way scarier than they are. Uh-oh, I have no regen right now. It's not good. Did he just go in the air? I didn't see what he did. Did he? No, never mind. Simmer down, Shaper. Aww. Where is he? Ooh. Dude. This character is not a bosser.